friends, I am back with the second part of my entire plant collection. And if you missed the first part, I will link it in the description below so you can have a look at those plants. As I said, I do think this is probably going to be at least a 6-part little series of videos for you, as I have way more plants than I care to admit. But let's just get right into it. So I have pulled 12 more plants. What I'm doing is kind of just going like shelf by shelf in the shop, going through and showing them. I am going to, these are all anthuriums again. I will do like a dedicated philodendron one and monstera and whatnot. So these are all anthuriums again, and they are ones that you may have seen in previous videos. So apologies if it is a duplicate and you're seeing it again, but I do want to show it all for this video. So let's start with one that in my last video, I showed you some babies that this plant had produced and told you that she swiftly took a dive. So I think we're back. We are getting there. So this is my Anthurium Ace of Spades green form. This leaf has seen better days. She is looking rough. When I say she took a dive, it literally had like no roots, and I had to basically chop it down to nothing. Like the leaves, I had to chop the leaves off. So this was essentially just a chunk, and this was the first leaf that came out. But good sized leaf, 0 roots. So I tried everything. We were in moss, no roots. We did, what else did we do? I think I did perlite, no roots. So I moved it to tree fern and perlite. So I have it in the setup here. It's got leca, sorry, this is very glary, but it's got leca at the bottom, and then it's tree fern and perlite. Did nothing for, I want to say like a good 2-3 months. And I was surprised that this leaf was holding on, and it was holding on and holding on, and it's just kind of starting to get, you know, not looking the best. But I'm happy to report we have a nice chunky root and a new leaf coming out. So look at how dark that looks. Wow. So I'm excited that she's coming back, and I was able to take a couple extra like cuttings. So I have, Alice has a cutting that I was able to sell to her, and I also have, I believe, 2 backup plants. So now that this one's rooted, I might sell one of those. So if you're in the market for an Ace of Spades, please send me a message on Instagram. Or you might see it in our live sale that's coming up. By the time this video comes up, I'm trying to think when they're gonna go out. It might be right before the live sale. So hopefully if you see this, you're able to join our live sale. We are doing on July 13th at 3 o'clock Pacific time, and it'll be on Instagram. So if you're able to make it, that'd be great to see you there. And if you can't, if you're not interested in buying, that's fine too. It's always fun just to kind of chit chat and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy. This one seems to be on the mend, and yeah, so I'm liking doing this leca layer. I find so there is drainage holes in this, but I kind of keep it in a cup where it sits. So it sits with a little bit of excess water, which then keeps this a bit more moist. And I do find tree fern dries out quite fast. So that just kind of keeps it a little bit more moist for it. And my anthuriums seem to like that. So yeah, so once again, this one here, Anthurium Ace of Spades green form. And a lot of these plants are actually from Amanda. So I'm going to go through the ones that are from Amanda right now. We'll do this little guy first. So this one here is my Anthurium Bessier Af crossed with a Ralph Linam Fort Sherman. Are we focusing? It's so dark, it's hard for you to see. look at how pretty it is. I'm super excited for this one. It's been a bit slow and it needs a repot because look at how much stem is out there. But I cannot wait for this one to get bigger. I just think it is gonna be so stunning when she's all grown up. I'm new with this camera, you guys, and I apologize if nothing is in focus. I'm probably gonna go and edit this and be like, crap, that was horrible. Technology is not my friend. So hopefully we are not too blurry here, but once again, this one is an Anthurium Bessier Af Ralph Lineham Fort Sherman, and the Ralph Lineham Fort Sherman is like a papillomenum, so how cute. All right, and the next one is also one from Amanda. This one is so cute. It's literally growing so bushy. Like, look at it, it's just like a little bush. This one is a Bessier Af crossed with an RA5, so a papillomenum RA5. And I mean, look at how cute this is. Got a new leaf coming in and another one there. It is so bushy. It's just like, how many leaves? There's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so many leaves. So cute. I do hope, I mean, they're sort of sizing up, not as much as I would love, but we're getting somewhere. Slowly but surely we're getting somewhere. So once again, this one here is a Bessier Af crossed with a papillomenum RA5. So pretty. Okay, the next two are also from Amanda, and I kept two of these because I think they are quite different looking. They're both from the same seed batch, so they're papillomenum RA5 cross self. A lot of my anthuriums got hit so hard with spider mites this winter that they're not looking their best, but I'm gonna show them to you anyways. And I actually saw something pretty exciting on one of them, but I'll show you my more favorite one first. And this one I just love because it is a bit more bolate, so you can see how pretty. She's starting to size up. This here is the newest leaf, and we're making progress in sizing her up. She's seen better days, okay? She's seen better days, but we're, I think, knock on wood, spider mite free now and going somewhere. So this one, I have to say, is my favorite of the two, but I did keep both of them because I just wanted to grow them out and see how they are. Let's see, I think this one's got a new leaf coming in too. Can you see that there? Hopefully. So I'm gonna show you the other one and then I'll do a side by side. This one is actually really not looking good, so yeah, but something exciting is happening. So this one, as you can see, is a bit more flat, the leaf. It doesn't have as much of the bolate texture in the leaf. I hope you can see that on camera where it just doesn't have, but I just looked at her today and look at that. It's got a new leaf and the most itty bitty inflow ever, but that's exciting. So she's maturing, and a new leaf is coming. And like I said, I'm pretty sure we are, I don't even know if I want to say that out loud, but I'm pretty sure they're spider mite free now. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. But yeah, so I'm hoping that this new leaf, you can see right there coming in, comes in and isn't damaged like all these other ones are. So I'm gonna just quickly show you. Hopefully you can see side by side. See how this one here has much more of a bolate texture to it, and this is more flat. I mean, looking at these plants side by side, this one's ear is just not wanting to cooperate right now. Don't mind it. I mean, looking at these plants side by side, I would almost say that you could say that they're different plants. If I didn't know that these came from the same exact seed batch, I would almost be like, no, they're different. What do you think? But I know they're from the same seed batch, so yeah, but they look pretty neat. So I kept two different ones just to kind of see what they end up looking like, and so far they're quite different, but this one is my fave. Now hopefully got rid of the spider mites on these ones and they can thrive once again, because fingers crossed. I'm gonna show you another one who has also been on the struggle bus with spider mites. And of course these ones, like I said, I'm pulling them all from the same shelf, so they've all kind of had their moment. I will show you. So this one is my Anthurium Carla Blackier crossed with a BVAP, and I did get this from Amanda as well. I believe it was Grant and Juan who made this cross though. I don't know why she wants to do this with her ears, but I'm gonna try and show you up close and see if you can see that spider mite damage down the midrib. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but right when this one unfurled, oh, and I see a little beneficial. I did get in more of my beneficials and he's motoring around on there. So I am so tempted anytime I see anything moving to like squish, but now I have to just don't do it. Hi, Rye. It says that it's gonna be, it says it's gonna be about 5 minutes, honey. Well, sorry, Rylan came in again. Where was I now? Anyways, yeah, so this one, you can see the spider mite damage, but hopefully those beneficials will be back doing their job. I was spraying so much with just like End-All and all this stuff that I didn't want to bother putting beneficials out on my plants until I kind of got a hold of the spider mites, because I didn't want to kill all of the good bugs when I was spraying and wiping and doing all that. So now that they're in there and I think I got a good handle on them, I'm just gonna kind of let them do their thing. And if I see any spider mites popping up, I probably will, you know, grab them and do the spray again, even though I have the beneficials out. If in like a week or two they're still popping up. But yeah, anyway, so the next leaf that came out was this one, and she's gorgeous, and I got scared. I saw it coming out because this one was coming out, and just as it was unfurling, I just saw spider mites and I was like, oh, and I knew it was gonna be damaged. And this one, I got scared and I was like, oh my God, I gotta End-All it. Don't do that. Don't be like me, because again, I don't know if the camera is gonna show you that, but it has like a bunch of little dots on it, and that's from the End-All. It's fine. It's still so much better than this one was. Again, I'm not sure if the camera's really picking it up, but they're there, I promise you. So this one is starting to get some good size on her. Look at her beside my head. So yeah, I'm excited, super excited for this one to get bigger, and we're in Cataphyll, so hopefully soon she'll flower. So yeah, once again, this one, Anthurium Carla Blackier crossed with a BVEP, which is Black Velvet Eastern Panama, or BVAP. I know some people don't like being called a BVAP, but it's just so much easier to say BVAP. So there you go. And is that all my Amanda plants? No, I got 2 more Amanda plants. Okay, so this one is an Anthurium crystallinum crossed with Pinkley. I did just recently get a Pinkley from Ecuador. So I'm excited to, I don't know what happened here. She got mangled. Excited to do some hybrids with it. But you know what? I have this one, and then I also have, which I didn't pull on this video because it's on a different shelf, but I have a crystalline Pinkley from Ecuador, and it's very different, very, very different. So I was excited to get these ones from Amanda. We've got a new leaf coming in, and yeah, like they're, when you see the other one, you'll see the difference. This one is a lot more of a kind of bullate, puffy texture, whereas the other one is very flat and a bit more like velvety. This is very like matte. But yeah, she's getting big too. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these big plants. I'm telling you, I strive to grow these big plants, and then I'm like, where are we putting all of these plants? So a lot of these plants, and some of them, like, you know, I've had to rearrange the back because I want to allow them to get bigger and start flowering and using them for breeding, but so I don't want to cut them. But then they take up so much space. So yeah, that's kind of been my issue. Is it a bad issue? Maybe not, but a little bit of an issue. So yeah, but right now I'm just letting it grow. So once again, this one is my Anthurium crystallinum crossed by Pinkley. Okay, and the last one is one more Amanda. Well, this is the last Amanda plant, and same thing. This poor thing got hit with spider mites, and admittedly, really not looking the best, but this one is my Papillolamum RA5 crossed with Swamp Bunny. And yeah, she's not looking the best. We're getting some yellowing, which I have to figure out why she's not loving life right now. But these lobes, can you see this? Like, how cute are those? They are so cute. It's really, this is one of my favorites, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but that is a flower coming in. So we're getting to maturity. I want to figure out why it's not happy with me before I do anything with it though, because I'm not liking this. This leaf was a new leaf, and it was perfect. And we've got some yellowing, and I keep looking at it for pests and I'm just not seeing anything. So I might have to repot her. It's in my aroid mix and not in tree fern, so I might move it into my new favorite media, which is the tree fern with aroid mix, and then the leca layer at the bottom to kind of hold some of the moisture. I find sometimes the yellowing is if it's dried out too much, and then it just gets mad, very mad. Some of them don't care, and others are just like, F you. Yeah, so we'll figure her out, but gotta show her in this for you guys. So I'm showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You're getting it all. So some of them are looking better than others, and that happens with everybody, right? So yeah, once again, this one is the Anthurium Papillolamum RA5 crossed with Swamp Bunny. This next one is a fun one. This one is my Anthurium Dark Mama, and we are starting to go places. Look at this new leaf. Isn't she beautiful? So if you don't know, the Anthurium Dark Mama is a hybrid between a Warocqueanum and a Papillolamum. And this one, I think, is kind of the best of both worlds. There are a lot, this is something to be aware too, and I'm gonna show you a plant next. That's a good example of this, but there's a lot of like Dark Mamas being sold from Indonesia and whatnot. And a lot were circulating in like 2020 that they don't really look like what a dark mama should look like. Sorry about that, my battery died. Good thing I bought an extra one with this camera. I'm still learning. But what was I saying? So basically, yeah, there's a lot of dark mamas on the market coming out of Indonesia, I'm sure other places, that aren't really what a dark mama should look like. So just keep that in mind when you're buying them. I always say buy the plant for the look of the plant and not for the name. And if you are, I mean, if this is the look of the dark mama that you want, don't buy a plant, you know, sight unseen. Buy a plant from somewhere that you know is that cross. Usually they're, you know, more real to type if you buy it from the US or somewhere like that. This one I got in a trade from my friend Lauren, and I believe she said this one came from a Hawaii grower. So yeah, so it's not like the original Dark Mama by Jay Vanini, but it is for sure the actual cross, if that makes sense. And we are getting somewhere with this one. I'm super excited. So this was the previous, I think the original leaves are gone, but this is kind of the smallest leaf that's left. And then we had this one. Again, they're not looking the best anymore. But then we had this one. And then this is the newest one. So we're sizing up and I'm excited. Again, this one is getting so big that I don't know where I'm gonna put it, because right now it just sits on the corner of a shelf, and hopefully can live there for a little bit longer. Hi, Rye.
Hi.
Yes, honey. Okay, you're shaking the table. So yeah, so this one here is my Anthurium Dark Mama, which is the hybrid between the Warocqueanum and Papilolaminum. The next one is another Papilolaminum. This one is from Ecuador, and this is the newest leaf on the plant. How pretty is she? I'm gonna try and show you the back, and hopefully you'll be able to see how red it is. It's hardened off a bit now, so it's, yeah, see, it's not showing up on screen, but when these emergent leaves come out, the back is just so red, so gorgeous. And this is the first leaf that has come out since I got it. And again, this one is in a tree fern aroid mixture, and so pretty. This one I'm hoping, I think this one's in Cataphil. Yeah, it's already in Cataphil, so hoping to get some babies out of this one soon. I actually bought a couple of luxurians specifically to cross with my paps, because they're very elongated luxurians, and I want to just create a nice pap lux that is super elongated. So hopefully that'll happen. Beauty, Anthurium Papilolaminum. Forgot to show you this one after that last one. So I was kind of saying how some things were being sold as Dark Mama. So this plant, and I have a tag on here that says AOS Dark Mama from Alice. So this plant, I believe she originally got this from Indonesia, and then I bought this at a sale that we had last year, I think, maybe even the year before. All I know is it was quite large when I got it, and it very quickly hated me and died back to almost a stump. But we're coming back, and this is the newest leaf, and it's pretty. Again, I have no idea what this plant is. AOS Dark Mama, I don't know. It's from Indonesia. It's probably a complex hybrid of something. This was the previous leaf here. And like, I feel like this is a good example of when I say like buy the plant if you like it for the look and not the name, because this is a gorgeous plant, right? Like this is gorgeous, but I don't want you, like, I don't want people to get like stuck on the names and like having to have these special named plants, because it's fine to want those plants, but I just feel like people will get disappointed to maybe spend the money on something because of the name, and then come to find out, you know, someone saying like, hey, you know, that might not actually be what you got. But it's all relative, right? Like if you like the plant, buy it. If you're willing to spend the money, buy it. It's all like, do what makes you happy, right? Because this plant, like, I don't really know what it is. I don't really care because it is gorgeous. So this one's got a couple little nicks in it, but almost perfection, and it's still a little bit floppy. But hopefully you can see in that light how pretty it is. So once again, this one bought as Ace of Spades Dark Mama. Don't know what it actually is though, but she's beautiful. Okay, I saved the best for last. Is that how it goes? Saved the best for last. I'm obsessed with this plant. I kind of thought I'd be obsessed, but I didn't really know how obsessed I'd be. And I think a lot of it boils down to, so far, how easy it's been for me. So this is my Anthurium Dark Phoenix. Do we love it? Do we love it? I mean, if you tell me you don't love this plant, we might have a problem, because it's so perfect. Now, okay, so story time. I got this plant from Alice, which I think most of you probably know already. She had it in like a little coffee cup, and in pond, and I like historically don't really love to grow in pond. I grow some things in pond, but it's not like my go-to. But she said, Lauren, this plant needs to stay in pond because it grows the best in pond. Like, just do it. So I was like, okay, fine. Fine. So I repot it out of the, if I do use pond, I don't really love to do no drainage because I want to be able to flush stuff. And I'm finding that more and more, like I'm transitioning more and more things to being able to flush them. So I cut holes in the bottom of this deli cup, and then I just have like a smaller deli cup holding like the reservoir. But I literally potted this plant last week, and look at these roots. They are already, like this one right here is just rooting away. This leaf wasn't even hardened off. It is now. It was not even hardened off when I did it. And I don't know what made me do it, but I was like, I'm repotting you right now. It didn't skip a beat. Like, look at it. It just didn't skip a beat. There is like a tiny little bit right here. You can see a little bit of damage, and that just looks like it brushed up against something, probably when it was expanding. But also, I don't know if you can tell on camera the size difference, like this leaf to this leaf. It is a pretty good size up, and I can't wait. And it's already growing another leaf. Can you see that right there? It's already got another leaf coming out. And that was like, this literally hardened off. I repot this last week. I mean, the only thing I am doing with this is fertilizing it with nutrient solution, and I usually do that 1 week on, 1 week off, or every 2 weeks, and that's all that I've been doing. So hopefully we get another size up on this next leaf, and yeah, we'll have to show her to you again. I'm sure I'll be updating you a lot because this is quickly becoming one of my faves. So yeah, the last one for this video is my Anthurium Dark Phoenix. Well, that's all the plants I'm going to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will join me back for part 3 of my entire collection. See you in the next one. Bye.